what is the DJ Puffy brand?
The Puffy brand is fun-loving, energetic, happy, fashion-conscious, inspirational, motivational.
Just a lot of positivity.
It's true.
Understood. So why did you choose Puffy as your moniker?
Basically, I already had the nickname Puffy from 12, 13. I went to a costume party as Puff Daddy. Had the best costume.
Okay.
And then, well, there's always that cool guy at school.
Yeah.
He basically knighted me as Puffy.
I thought you were the cool guy at school.
Nah, not
No.
in first one.
Okay. Oh, so you got Puffy in secondary school?
Yeah.
Okay. So in your early days, I remember listening to an interview with you. I can't remember now if it's 95.3 or 98.1, but you were discussing your introduction to DJing.
Mm-hmm.
How exactly did you get into it? When did you develop an interest in DJing?
It was always a hobby for me in my early teens.
Yeah.
I was marketing manager of a youth band.
Okay.
And it kind of fell into my lap per se, where we couldn't afford to pay like a whole heap of DJs. So I just decided, I do this as a hobby already. I do house parties and stuff. You would know.
Yeah.
I used to do house parties, etc. I was just like, let me fill the slot as the first DJ, the opening DJ, and then the real DJs could come after.
Okay.
So the guy who's my manager now, Matthew, he was at shipping at the time.
Okay.
And he heard me play. So he was like, I'm impressed with what you're doing. How about you come spin for me on Saturdays? And at the time, Masala was doing the Saturday night.
Okay.
So that was actually my first.
That was your first big break.
Yeah.
Okay. But how did it feel going from those same teeny bopper parties that we used to obviously go to? I know playing on a Lenovo laptop with virtual DJ.
You know.
Yeah, to
you
move into the big set now.
Them is big details there. You know what I mean?
I remember those days well. How did that transition feel for you? Do you look back on those days fondly?
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. It was great. I mean, I was always the type to embrace the journey. And it's good coming from humble beginnings.
Okay.
Kind of working your way through and being able to invest in yourself and say, this is what I need to take me to the next level, and buying that stuff and then practicing on that stuff.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the big leagues,
so,
being able to use professional
equipment. You just made that conscious decision that this was what you were about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was always the type to go ham on my hobbies. So like tennis, I always wanted to buy the best shoes and rackets and gear, etc. And if I'm in something, I'm in it 200%.
So you're definitely a gung-ho person when it comes to your passions.
Yeah.
You say that.
For sure.
So you've upgraded obviously from the Lenovo.
Absolutely.
So what's your current setup?
Current setup would be turntables, Pioneer PLX 1000s.
Okay.
The mixer would be a DJM S9 from Pioneer as well.
Okay.
And obviously the laptop is an Apple MacBook Pro.
Okay, you use Serato?
And Specto, Serato DJ.
Of course. So your manager, Future, he's been a big part of your success and your journey. How did that relationship come about?
Well, as I said just now, he was in the club, and then he actually reached out to me initially as a model, because I used to model back in the day.
Yeah.
And he had this whole concept where he wanted to fuse fashion and music.
Yeah.
And it was what was the name of that, Matthew? Glitz and Glamour was the name of the event. So,
okay.
I ripped the wrong way for that, and then he ended up calling me back to do other stuff, and then we built the relationship from there because we had similar interests.
Okay, so modeling was the common tie, I guess, that brought y'all together. Yeah. And how would you say he's helped elevate your brand?
Man, and elevate me as a person, like we're like brothers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like brothers.
No, it's not just a business partnership.
Exactly. It's personal. We're actually like family, it's just we don't have the same mother.
Okay.
So everything that family people or people who are related would do, we do with each other. We uplift each other in ways that are undescribable.
Okay. When did you start at Slam 101?
2017?
Yes, 2017.
2010?
No. 2010?
2011.
Okay, and this was after your time at Shipping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and how did that relationship form where you ended up working at the station?
Well, I was doing Taboo at the time.
Okay.
On a Saturday.
Yeah.
Bubba and Simply, they were linemen, and I was playing early, and Simply asked Bubba, yo, who's this guy DJing? And Bubba was like, man, there's a new guy that's on the scene, whatever. And Simply was like, yo, we gotta get him on the station. So the next day, Scratch Master, who's the program director at Slam, called me. He was like, yo, Puffy, what's going on? I heard about you. We want you to send in a demo.
Oh, wow.
And I did it.
And
the rest is history.
How did you? What slot did you end up with originally?
Initially, well, as an intern, you kind of just watch on.
Yeah.
Then my first real slot was like, had to be like 12 a.m. to like 2 a.m.
Okay, so
something
definitely
like that.
so the late night stuff.
Yeah. Then they listened to me. I started doing 9 to 12, and then I graduated to 6 to 9.
6 to 9.
Yeah.
Domestic radio in Barbados has always had a lot of culture shifting personalities, from John Doe to Peter Coppin to Lil Ray, etc. Can you talk about the pressure of living up to people like that would have blazed a trail for you?
I don't really think I had a lot of pressure per se, in terms of managing and kind of marketing my shift, because I always believed that I had something unique to offer to the industry.
Yeah.
So I kind of did things as I learned my own way.
Okay.
And
so you weren't trying to fit that mold. You were just trying to be you.
I was just trying to do what I wanted to do. You know, obviously I listened to a lot of stations, not only regionally but internationally.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring that sort of international appeal to radio in Barbados.
Okay.
And that's what I kind of focused on.
Okay. So we were just talking about the 6 to 9 time slot. When you finally, that's like one of the prime time slots on Slam.
No.
When you finally got that, did you think that you made it, or was that just a stopgap in your mind?
When I first got that shift, I was actually filling in for Donnie,
Okay.
who went on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, Donnie was obviously already doing a
household
fantastic
name
job.
like that. Yeah, she was a
He was holding
he
it
was
down.
a household name
So
like that,
I just wanted to carry the torch, you know what I mean, and do things in my own way, but still keep the standard that Donnie had set for that 6 to 9 shift.
Yeah. And from there, DJ Puffy basically became a household name.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of talk about DJs having an obligation to break artists. Do you agree with that at all?
Yeah, we definitely play an integral role in introducing new music. I mean, my shift was known for the latest stuff, for breaking new music, not only in soca, but hip hop, pop, R&B, reggae. Once it was a new song or it was hot somewhere else and people didn't know about it, I was that person responsible for introducing it to this market.
You know, that comes definitely with a lot of backlash, because everyone is going to feel like they haven't had the opportunity for you to push them, or that you're not doing enough to push their sound.
Well, I mean, absolutely, and we put out there all the time, yo, once you have quality stuff and we are able to hear it, then we will work with you.
Yeah,
you know, quality is always key when it comes to us.
Yeah, we had an interview recently with Halik Maul.
Yeah.
And we would have discussed that there's not really an issue between the two of y'all, but I guess he feels somewhat that he's being slighted and by not being put on the radio. What would you say to artists specifically that feel like they don't have the shine yet?
First of all, I would love for artists to kind of change their approach, you know. We've always had to deal with, and this is coming from the other side of the fence now.
Yeah.
Because I was that person where I was blocked as an artist as well, as a young person as well.
Yeah.
But now I'm on the other side of the fence, and I'm kind of able to give advice in terms of, yo, coming up. So I think now, rather than having a rebellious approach to what's happening, I think we need to facilitate people's thoughts and be a little more considerate in the approach in getting things up there. You know what I mean? Don't go on social media and blast us for not doing what you think we should be doing.
Yeah.
But approach us, you know, ask a question, because a lot of the time, or a lot of the things that I've faced personally, I don't know about these things. You know what I mean? People be like, oh, Puffy doesn't play my song. I've never heard your song.
So you think people are creating their slights in their head, and they're not?
It's an illusion. It's an illusion.
Okay.
Come to us. Say, yo, Puffy, what do you think about this? You know, yo, how can I change my song? How can I improve my song? How do I get on the radio? I would tell you straight, yo, just send an email to the PD. We would listen to it, screen it.
Yeah.
And if it meets the standard, we will let you know.
Understood.
If you don't think that, or if we don't think that it meets the standard, sometimes we get back to you, sometimes you might be busy, but there's nothing wrong with reaching out to us and saying, yo, I sent my song last week, what do you think about it? Did you get a chance to listen to it? Follow up. You know, you want to make it, do what it takes.
Have to do the hard work,
exactly.
obviously. A lot of creatives aren't willing to take criticism. That's a big problem with a lot
of the time too, they don't have things put in place. So I receive a lot of songs, there's no radio edit to it. You know,
that's a big part of it.
Exactly.
You can't just be putting anything.
How do you expect me to put your song on when you saying the F word.
Yeah.
We can't play that on the radio.
Exactly.
I'm not saying there's something wrong with saying the F word. I say it sometimes too.
There's difference between that on your SoundCloud and that being on the radio. That's it's a completely different thing.
Exactly. So just try to have a more modest approach.
Okay.
To be honest, humility has gotten me this far, and Tef would agree.
Yeah.
Try to have a more humble and modest approach.
Okay.
And things will work in your favor.
Yeah.
You know, don't cuss us when we ain't know what you cussing us about.
Exactly.